Bong bong.
Ah, yeah, I see.
Tick 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 tick.
It's actually working. Yeah, we got to make sure that's working because we get caught. It's not good.
That would have been my fault that time.
Yeah,
All right, we good.
good. It's will ever be.
Feeling good, looking good. Cue the music.
Subscribe for the very latest.
What up, everybody? It's the core room, huh?
Yeah,
Back up at this thing, man. And it's deeper than rap.
we're going deep.
It's always deep as well, Not always deep in the rap, but it's deep in the rap. This what our third deep in the rap
I
episode.
think it's our third. Yeah, I'll probably go with our third.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
see that. Yeah, yes.
Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody who's liking, subscribing, buying merch, all that good stuff, man. Shout out to everybody. Wait a minute, hold up. I gotta
Yeah,
make sure I get my banner up there. You know
of
how
course. That's always a good thing.
we do. That banner. Y'all see that banner down there?
Yeah.
We down there.
Right
Get that. Listen, if
Right there.
if you're feeling like you want to tithe, brothers and sisters,
It's gonna be like that.
He didn't say time. Give to a good brother.
if you want to tithe, you see the
Wow.
cash app down there. You want to tithe and give to the needy. It's right there.
Wow.
It's at the bottom, man. If you want to buy some merch, if you like, hey, you know what? I'd rather buy something. It's down there too. Hit the merch. If you have a talent, you want some exposure. If you have something that you want to promote, you see the email down there. Hit the email, man. It's gonna be down there all day. So if you just want to hit the email, just feel free. Write down any one of those things down there.
Also, want to add, man, if you do basket weaving, that's also appreciative too.
Listen,
that's
whatever
another
you do,
skill. I'm just
Whatever
saying.
you do, let's just do it. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to all of y'all who support the podcast. And listen, man, we about to get into this deep in the rap. So that's Big Heisenberg down there, Walt, about like 8 foot tall. I don't know, he ducking on all of y'all, man. And that's super producer Trev.
Oh,
And
I
guess-
gotta add one more thing to that, man. Also, on my end, my homeboy Winthrop, he's out for spring break, so he should be back next go round.
I forgot. I didn't even see him back there. He ain't back there.
Winthrop ain't here right
You
now.
call him Winthrop? Anyway,
His name is Winthrop.
sound like somebody's butler. But anyway,
Winthrop.
and we got the lovely Tay.
Hey,
ABS.
Hey y'all.
yes.
What's going on, man?
Thank y'all for having me. I feel like I'm visiting my brothers here. I feel like y'all. Thank you for having me on the show.
Listen,
Always.
this is still your platform. You know what I'm
Hey.
saying? Shout out to everybody else that's graced this platform. We've had a lot of people come on this podcast. We've been doing all right, man.
The shows have been amazing, so in depth. This Deep in Rap is the smartest thing. that we've ever
Listen,
done.
I got a lot of smart people around me. What can I
Yes.
say? It's all in God's plan. He know how to plant these seeds and how to do it, man. But listen, man, it's been an interesting 2 weeks to say the least. It's been interesting, So we about to kick it, talk about some things. We haven't really gotten Tay's perspective on the slap that was heard across the world.
Wow.
Now, listen, this thing is not going away.
No, it's
Keep
not.
it a G. It ain't going away. It's one of them things. It's legendary, right? And it's one of them things that it's so much to unpack. It's so many layers to this thing that I think that a lot of people can learn. So we gonna get a little into that. We also want to get into like music and really dig deep into music and the temptation behind music, and how it affects your life. I mean, is music the reason why your life is trash? I don't know.
Could be some choices around there somewhere, but okay.
Right.
Exactly. Just gonna just throw it like that.
It could be, it's a lot of it may sound silly, but a lot of y'all take music to heart, a little seriously. I get your ideas about life of music. It's a lot of, music is a serious thing. I don't think people understand what that is, and how, how you interact with music, or how the type of music that you listen to might affect your life in a deeper way. You know what I'm saying? So we'll talk about all of that, man. But first, let's get into how toxic Jada Pinkett is.
Oh, can we do it?
Let's just get into it.
Wow.
I'm just saying that's just how I feel. I just feel like Jada is just, I don't know. So listen. All right. So everybody knows the smack that was heard across the world, the loudest smack, right? But recently, there were like things that came out, like, for example, because remember when the smack happened, nobody saw what happened, like when Will Smith was walking back, right? So, we seen footage of Jada Pinkett laughing after he was coming back. That is, when I saw that, I was like, wow, like, what is really going on here?
The plot thickens. Plot thickens.
So first, before I want to hear Tate's perspective on just the whole thing. Like, what was your initial reaction?
When I first saw it, first of all, let's just go back. Let's go back. I am a 1990s fan of Jada Pinkett. I'm always like a little more in depth of certain people, and I'm just a little more different. So I'm a huge fan of Lena from Different World, and I like different parts that she played in Low Down Dirty Shame. I love her as an actress. She's a GOAT. She's a legend. But this Red Table Talk, I never felt like that, because I feel like it was all fake. Just like when men talk to women about men, it's like, what? Like, I just didn't feel like that was her real self. Oh, let's heal. Let's not let's woosah. Like, no, I never felt like that was real. So when I saw the slap and when I saw the laugh, first of all, Will Smith, what are you doing? Because you're a comedian. You have this comedic aspect to you. I'm from the comic view era. It wasn't no jokes off limits. Like, Hughley used to get up there and talk about special needs people. He used to get up there and it was a rough, tough crowd.
That was his act. That was a good part of his act.
That was why people came to Comic View when he was the host. He was roasting everybody. So I didn't feel like he was. Chris Rock's defense, I didn't feel like he was making fun of alopecia. I felt like he was making fun of somebody who happened to have alopecia. So I need people to disconnect that narrative. I don't think that he was saying, oh, you got alopecia. He's making he's putting your likeness to G.I. Jane, who a lot of people didn't even know who it was. You know what I'm saying? So he's making that reference. But when he went up there and slapped him, I felt mortified for Chris Rock. I felt that it was unwarranted, because at first you thought it was funny. Will Smith laughed. And so I just felt like, in my mind, I would like to think that if I was somebody like Jada Pinkett, I would grab my husband. Hold on, babe, it's okay. Don't worry about that. Protect him as he's trying to protect you, because whatever he was about to do was not anything that you want the likeness of your husband to be.
Exactly. And that's what we had a conversation about last time.
My husband. I would have and I felt like every time I turn around, just like with the August Alsina thing, I feel like you didn't protect him from that. You didn't protect him from all of that getting out. Like, you weren't smart about any of it. And so I just feel like she's an alpha woman, of course, but I just feel like she never protects him. And that's my perspective. And I just hope that because if you see, and I'll end with this, if you see some of the snippets after, he was kind of making fun of it, like, oh, you can't take Philly and Baltimore nowhere. And they were all in the crowd and everybody was consoling him. And I was like, You just slapped somebody on the Grammys. This
On
is
national TV.
one of the first years that we're even celebrated at the Grammys.
Yep.
Oscars.
And that's what you did. Oscars, Grammys, Oscars, excuse me, Lord. Because it's two different aspects.
Right.
But that's
Two different
my
aspects
perspective. I
of
just feel
same
like I just feel like she should have protected him, and she shouldn't have let him put himself in that position for her. If you are such an alpha person, you don't need to be protected in that way.
You know, it's crazy though, and I got a question for y'all. And I've, you know, this situation makes me think about what type of comedy are we having in 2022. These like you said, people like back in the day, you could not sit in the front row of any crowd with a bald head and think about a woman that's a bald head, or even weave, or with a weave. Like if you was on Def Comedy Jam with a long weave or a bald head, or you could have been a man with a bald head. It don't matter.
You're getting joked on. Period.
Pick me.
And you know what? And you know what? You wanted to get cracked on because that's where you came to a comedy show. Now, here's the thing: Oscars is not a comedy show, but it does have comedy segments, right? And Chris Rock, we already, like you said, we know how Chris Rock get down. He's cut from the same cloth as the people who came from Def Comedy Jam. That comes from Comic View. And all of these other, comic shows. So the question is to y'all: are we seeing the change or the death of the comedy that we know?
That's a good, interesting question. We might, man. I guess things are not the way they used to be. It feels like it's like a low tolerance for just anything nowadays, man. It's just how the world has moved. Unfortunately, that's just my opinion.
Well, is it dead? Is I mean, the likes of because even I see people like D.L. Hughley used to crack on everybody in the front row. He even dumped his comedy down. You know what I'm saying? Is it gone? Is the world to the point where we that sensitive now?
I do think it's not something that you can put on like in front. It's not for everybody. And since it's not for everybody, and the Oscars is an event that's supposed to be for everybody, I just feel like that is going away. As far as now, the thing about Def Comedy Jam, I was mad little when it was coming on. So when it would come on, I wasn't allowed to watch it. Then I would see it start. You know how it starts up,
right.
They starting all this
Kid Capri.
I'm saying, so when they have it all starting to pull up and everything, my sisters and my mom and dad, they would be like, "Nah, you ain't supposed to be watching that." I wasn't allowed to watch Chris Rock, Bigger and Blacker, and I had to
classic
about that. And that classic.
Classic. That's a classic Chris Rock stand up, bro. That's great. Yeah.
Yes. When I watched, that was one of the funniest joints I've watched. And the thing is, it's I seen why I wasn't allowed to watch it. As you said. So when I just think that those two spaces are becoming I feel like we were at a point where it was kind of midway. I feel like those two spaces are splitting because people are gonna want to hear those jokes. Red Fox was telling the jokes that he was telling way back in the day,
right?
And then it was Eddie Murphy, Martin Lawrence, and now we at where we at now. So I'm saying there's gonna be a space for it. I don't think it's gonna go away, but there will be a space for it. I just feel I think at the end of the day, it's the Oscars. And I just feel like it's just that's why it's not going away. When I made a post, the first hashtag that was recommended was Will Smith. My joints ain't had nothing to do with this brother, and they talking about suggested hashtag is Will Smith. So I'm just this is not. like you said earlier, it's not going for a nice thing. Like,
Yeah.
about this,
Because the thing about it is that, and we're gonna get into Jada Pinkett in a minute, but I just wanted to ask that question because the thing about it is, it seems like everything that we like is being pushed to the underground. Like music that was like really, really good music is being pushed to the underground, like to the point where it's like you probably got to go sneak to watch, listen to it, or you know what I'm saying? Like even like comedy that we like, it's like it feels like one day in the future you're gonna be like frowned upon from listening to certain comics, certain type of music, because people are very sensitive and they love to cancel people. You know, they love to cancel people. And I remember Chris Rock saying this on, I think it was The Breakfast Club, when he talks, I think it was, he was talking about how comics are not allowed to say what they want to say. They're not allowed to be comics anymore. You got to censor yourself all the time. Like like when I heard about this, I told my wife, I said I wouldn't be surprised if one day Chris Rock says, you know what, I'm retiring from being a comic. Because to strip a person like Chris Rock, to strip that away from him, to be like, nah, you can't say that. You can't say that about a person. You can't do this. Like, he can't joke. Here's one thing I found out about Chris Rock that a lot of people don't know. Chris Rock was bullied. He was beat up a lot. Like, Chris Rock was beat up a lot. Even from what I understand, allegedly he was beat up as a young comic when he was, you know, when he was like probably in the beginning, getting into his bag. He was bullied, right? So this is his outlet. This is what he does. You know, it's like one of them things when you ready to go to war, you put the shield on, you know what I'm saying? Like you put the mask on, like that's him. He's a comic. And to strip that type of thing away from him is going to be like, yo, I don't want to do this no more then. If y'all doing it like this, I might just go, you know, direct a movie or something. I don't know. Maybe get into some serious roles, but, you know, it's tough. But let's get back to Jada.